So over the last few days, I've seen lots of comments from Fire Stick users talking about Amazon's new home screen. Lots of you say that the icons look too small. Others are saying that everything feels so much more cluttered than before. And I've seen lots of people complaining about the slow performance with the extra adverts, the extra sponsored content, and really just people not liking the new layout. What if I told you there's a super simple way to avoid the home screen altogether? And no, I'm not talking about any complicated tweaks. We're not going to intercept the home button, which may end up breaking after the next update. We're going for the super simple, easy method that anybody can follow in literally a few minutes. As you can see on my device, I've already installed the Wolf Launcher, which works as of June 2026. In this video today, let me show you how you can follow this process on all of your Amazon devices, and there's one little trick at the end which makes this whole process work surprisingly well. So make sure you stick around for that, and make sure you hit that like button so this video can go out to as many Fire Stick users as possible. Let's jump right into it. Now, before we start, I think it's quite interesting that most people think that launcher replacements stopped working a long time ago. And in some ways they are right, because Amazon stopped the process of intercepting the home button, but that doesn't mean that custom launchers are now useless. In fact, for many people, it's still one of the cleanest ways to launch applications without seeing any of the typical Amazon recommendations, adverts, home screen, sponsored content. It's still one of the best ways to do that. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Now, the first thing we're going to do on my device is to get the latest version of the Wolf Launcher. The best way to do that is open up Downloader, and we can now make a quick connection to my website, which is just techdoctoruk.com, or you can always type in the short code, which is just 53402. Let's type that in and click on go. And if you haven't seen my site for a while, you'll be surprised to see that it's had a complete redesign. The new site does not have any adverts, any pop-ups, any fake links. Everything has been manually checked by me, and it really is the best and safest way for you to find all of your favorite applications. All you need to do is just go over to where it says get tools. Let's click on that, and you'll get access to the entire library. Just do make sure you pay attention to that disclaimer, and always use a VPN when you are doing any activity on your streaming device. If you don't have a VPN, just comment the word VPN below and I'll give you my special discount link, or you can just scan that QR code you see on the screen right now. Okay, so let's scroll down, and there is a dedicated section for launchers. Let's click on that. And this demonstration, I'm going to get the Wolf Launcher. So click on get, read the disclaimer, then click on I understand. Now then begin the download of the latest version of the Wolf Launcher directly onto your device. Once you've done that, you can now press the home button, and let's now open up the Wolf Launcher for the first time. Let's click on that. Now, the first thing you'll probably notice is just how different everything looks, because instead of having rows and rows of recommendations, rows and rows of adverts, loads of suggested content, what you now just see is a simple list, a simple clean list of all of your current applications. So super simple, super clean, and of course super fast, because you can see, guys, there's no adverts to load, no sponsored content. I can quickly whiz around all of my favorite applications. Now, of course, if I press the home button, it will still take you back to the Amazon home screen, because that's just the way Fire OS works at the moment. But the thing that most people don't realize is, if I now go back in, and this tip is the main reason why I still keep the Wolf Launcher installed on all of my devices, because if you see here, let's say for example, I open up Downloader, let's click on that. That's now open. If I now exit from Downloader by pressing back, press back again, you can see we still stay inside the Wolf Launcher. Let me demonstrate that one more time. So let's say for example, I'm inside my favorite care application. Let's open that up. That's working absolutely fine. But watch what happens now when I press the back button and I exit from the application. So let's click on exit, and we are still inside the custom launcher. So using this method, I can now launch any application, and when I'm back out of it, I'll stay inside the custom launcher, which means that I'm not going to see any more Amazon adverts, any more Amazon home screen, any of that sponsored content. I can carry on staying inside the custom launcher as long as I back out of any application that I launch. This way I get all of the benefits of using a custom launcher without applying any manual tweaks or manual workarounds. It really is just the best and fastest way to use a custom launcher and stay inside it without going back to the Amazon home screen. Now, the next thing I like about this launcher is just how customizable it is. So probably the first thing you want to do is use a custom wallpaper. The next thing I'll show you is how you can create custom sections and how you can move those applications into those sections. And lastly, I'll show you how you can hide applications that you don't want to see anymore. So I don't care about Amazon Game Center or Amazon Photos. I can now easily hide that directly inside the custom launcher. So let's do the first one, which is let's get a custom wallpaper. Super easy to use. I can just use downloader. I can now just go to the search and I can just search for 4K wallpapers. Click on next. I think there is actually a website called 4K wallpapers, which I know works well, which is the second link here. Let's click on that. I can click on that, and of course you can navigate through a massive library, find any wallpaper that suits your taste, and you can then just install that with one click. So let's just find a nice scenic one. This looks quite nice, so let's go for this one here. I click on it, I then scroll down and I click on download. So you can see, guys, in less than a few clicks, we've now downloaded a wallpaper. It's now saved inside my downloader folder. Once you've done that, let's go done. Let's go to the top. I can now press the context key, which is one of the 3 lines. Let's now go to launcher settings. Let's go to wallpaper. Let's turn this option on. Let's go to select wallpaper. Let's click on allow. Let's give access. I can now browse my internal storage. Let's go to the downloader folder, which is this one here. Click on downloader again. I can now see the 2 images I previously downloaded. So you do see a nice preview. Let's go for this one here. Let's click on that. That's the first thing done. The next thing you probably want to do is create a custom section. So again, I can press the context key. Let's go to launcher settings. Let's go to sections. Now, of course, you can add as many sections as you like. So let's go to manage sections. And I'm going to click on add a section. So let's just add one for streaming. Let's do next. Let's add another section. Let's click on apply. Let's add another section for utilities. Let's go in. Let's do apply. And let's just do one last one, app stores. Okay, we've now added in 3 sections. And what I like to do is you can also adjust the orders. So I'm going to move my applications down, which is the default category. So let's click on that, on the arrow. I can now bring that down. So applications are right at the bottom. The widgets can stay at the top. Then you have streaming, utils, and then app stores. Now that we've created the custom sections, I can go back. And now, for example, when I scroll down, let's say, for example, this one here is a custom app store. I can long press the select button there. Let's select the option move to section. I'm going to add that into my app stores. That disappears. Let's go down. Let's say, for example, this one here, I'm going to add into my streaming, move to section, streaming. That's done. This one here, long press, move to section. You can see how easy it is, guys. So literally you can take a few moments, go through your applications, add them into any category that you like, and you can quickly tweak your home screen. So let's add this one, move to section, streaming. We can see now, so now we're at the top, we've got a streaming section, we've got a utility section, then we've got app stores, then we've got just the general applications. What you can also do is you can customize the size of these tiles. So again, press the context key, go down to where it says launcher settings. We want to manage our sections. Let's manage the streaming section, and we can now scroll down and increase the column size. So the more column size you have, you can see that the icons get smaller, and a lower number means they get bigger. So I personally like a size of round about size 7, but of course you can customize that. That's done. Let's go back. Let's also customize utilities. Let's also make that size 7. Let's go back. Now the applications, because it's a massive list and it's typically the stuff that I'm not going to be using regularly, I like to make that really small. So let's customize applications, and let's make that size 9. That's now done. Now if you want to hide applications, let's say, for example, I'm never going to use this Amazon Photos. I can press the context key, go to launcher settings, go to hidden apps, and now anything you select, let's select this one, Alexa Smart Home. You can see as soon as you select it, it just disappears from your list because all of these built-in Amazon applications, if you're not using them, then why do you need to see them on your home screen? Just literally one click and you can hide all of this built-in Amazon junk. And here's a setup that I made earlier. You can see it just has a few of my key applications that I use regularly, and the rest of the stuff I've just moved to the bottom. And let's just do one last test. Let's say I open up Mi Explorer. I'm browsing around, looking at my files. When I press back again, I stay inside my custom launcher without seeing any of that Amazon home screen rubbish again. So, and the other thing I would say that if you are doing anything on your streaming device, whether you're using custom launchers, third-party applications, any kind of downloading, any kind of streaming, I would say VPN is essential to protect your privacy and to ensure that your ISP, your internet service provider, can't monitor you, and more importantly, they can't throttle you. I personally recommend IPVanish. I've used them for more than 5 years now. They're super fast, super secure, and if you scan that QR code, you do get a special price just for Tech Doctor UK fans. And it really is just the best way to support me and my work. So many thanks for doing that. Now, before you go, there is one last thing to mention that, of course, using the Wolf Launcher is not a magic fix. It's not going to replace your Fire OS home screen. It's not going to disable your launcher, and it doesn't disable any kind of future updates. But what it does give you is a much cleaner place to launch your applications from. Think of it as like a secondary dashboard or a secondary home screen. So you open up the launcher once, and then from that point forward, you launch all of your applications through the Wolf Launcher, giving you that seamless and more smoother experience. And I think for most users, that really is more than enough. So that's pretty much this video, guys. Many thanks for watching. Do leave me a comment below if you do like the Amazon home screen, or if you would prefer using something like a Wolf Launcher on your Amazon devices. Do leave me a comment below. Let me know, and I'll hopefully catch up with you guys real soon. Thanks.